We obviously congratulate Liz Truss. She, takes over at an unenviable time, and she's not going to have a great deal of time to really sort of peruse the landscape. There are some real immediate threats to business and enterprise across the UK that are going to need her immediate attention. And so we want her to hit the ground running and look at those immediate needs. And we, in the past few weeks, have been talking to both Rishi Sunak's team and Liz Truss's team at a UK level to urge them to think about the support that's going to be needed as soon as the successful candidate, in this case, Liz Truss, became Prime Minister. But there really is no time to waste. And so that is our message to our new incoming Prime Minister now. We cannot afford, we have lost time, we cannot afford to wait any longer to look at the measures that are going to need to save businesses.
Welsh political leaders have come forward. Of course, cost of living is top of their priority. They want that first on the list for Liz Truss to address. Plaid Cymru is saying that they want to see a return to the energy price cap to pre-April levels and extending that to small businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to see the extension of a price cap to small businesses. And I think this is one of the issues that has become a little bit better known in recent weeks, but was probably not known before that. But businesses don't have the same protection as individual consumers. Businesses are really left at the vagaries of the market, and now we're seeing businesses come to the end of their fixed price contracts with their energy suppliers. We're getting examples of suppliers that won't fix on a new, even astronomical price with businesses, and yet we're seeing other businesses that have to just go with the market, and so we're seeing hundreds of % rise in energy bills as a result of that. Now, that is not credible. The numbers do not stack up for business owners when you are having that very unpredictable cost, and that's only one part of a bag of significant cost increases in the cost of doing business overall. Now, the cost of living starts with the cost of doing business crisis. So to make sure that people are in secure, stable jobs and able to combat this themselves, we need credible businesses, or we need stable businesses that are able to provide stable employment.
Last time we spoke, it was about the budget. Prior to that was COVID recovery and the grants, etc. Are you looking for more of the same again? Do you want to see a system put in place to shore up these businesses who are already saying they're facing bankruptcy?
Yes, we do. So we need that price cap extension. We need direct cash intervention to support businesses. In much the same way as government is seeking to do with households, we need to see a cash intervention. Now, we know this is going to be a significant cost. There is undoubtedly that is going to be the case. We need to look at this, though, at an investment that makes sure that businesses they can continue to support those they employ, because that is the most important thing over the coming weeks and months, to make sure that that employment stays where it is, that people feel empowered and able to manage all the other inflationary costs that they face. But at the moment, for so many businesses, that is a very, very difficult calculation. They have bared down where they can, and at the problem at the moment is the only options open to them are to reduce the number of those they employ. We know from the pandemic that is the last thing that business owners want to do. They know how important their employees are. So government needs to step up now to make sure that an unenviable decision isn't faced by business owners across Wales.
We saw during the pandemic how businesses had to cut back, scale back, and again, as you mentioned there, it had a big impact on them being able to produce revenue, which would carry them through the winter. We're coming into the winter, a really tough time for them.
It is a tough time, and businesses aren't recovered from the pandemic. Many sectors have not recovered fully. We know from the work that we've done across our membership, many business owners are heavily leveraged by debt, and they have that accumulated debt that they built up during COVID, not in the position yet to really offload that debt. So they're in a vulnerable and weak place as businesses. So we are looking at short-term measures in the first instance. We need to carry businesses through the winter months. There is a conversation beyond that about economic regrowth, but that will require us to look at the wider landscape, taxation, all those other things which have also been a part of this conversation, to make sure that businesses are in the best place to regrow. But as I say, the next few months are very, very difficult and very bleak indeed for business owners. And we are getting business owners coming to us and saying, enough is enough. I cannot face this again. And we are looking at businesses that are looking at the mechanisms they need to wound up their business. So this is not something that's coming down the line by any measure. This is something that's here now with us. And so we need a government that is going to react to that now and work with partners across the UK, including Welsh Government, to make sure that wherever you are, you have the hope of support.
Once Liz Truss is asked by our Queen to become the Prime Minister, will you be joining the queue for that first meeting to try and establish what can be done to help businesses?
Yeah, FSB will certainly want to be having an early conversation with the new Prime Minister and her cabinet when that's formed, to make sure that not only cabinet ministers understand exactly what it is that small businesses need, but also we want to work in partnerships with government. We want to be a part of that solution, and we need to have an effective dialogue to make sure that as we go along, there is no government anywhere in the UK that is in doubt about what needs to be done. So yes, we will be looking for the attention of the new Prime Minister and her cabinet as soon as possible